Okay, guys, alternate ending. Take 43.
With so many movies on the net and TV, it's kinda hard being up and film savvy. Do you catch a show while you're on the go? And how do you know what to keep or what to throw? How do you know what to keep or what to throw? Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Tune in, tune in, tune in to alternate ending. Now! Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of Alternate Ending.
Welcome to Alternate Ending. We're discovering good movies, one bad movie at a time. I'm film school dropout Robert Jarsinski. Across from me is our casual moviegoer Carrie Jarsinski and our very own critic in residence Tim Brayton. With Transformers: The Last Night having rolled out into theaters this weekend, we're taking
rolled out.
I'm doing it.
It's sort of like moved slightly.
Is it like because his car moves?
That's a reference, guys.
Oh, it's
Autobots.
It's because they are cars.
Autobots roll out.
But the movie tanked, is what I'm saying. It is a movie that is not going to do very well.
Either way, we're looking at our top 5 robots. But first, Carrie, you're back. You're looking rather...
You're looking like you've gotten some sun.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was going to say tan, but it's not really tan.
What do you mean it's not
just
tan?
like beet red. You're beet red all over your body.
Some of us are pale
I'm fair skinned.
Northern European waifs.
I'm an easy burner. This is like the best tan I can possibly get, which is really just a conglomeration of freckles, I think, probably. But I'm back.
My tan's invariably like I have to get a burn and then the burn just goes away and it
flakes
kind of leaves
away.
a tan behind.
Exactly. After it peels away, that's me here.
So tell us of your travels, of leaving me with the children for 9 days.
For 9 days, it was owed after 5 years of service that I've had thus far. But no, it's good. It was fun. I would do it again. And I will. No. When can I do it again?
Highlights, lowlights? Did you manage to actually do some work for the podcast, for the website?
So you're right. I did do some podcast work because I had a 8-hour flight, and so there were a multitude of movies that I could see whilst flying, and that's what I did. I watched one on the way out, and then I was going to watch 3. That was my plan. But then I found Tetris. They have Tetris on the airplane.
Oh, man.
And then it was donezo. I was skipping these movies. I played 5 hours of Tetris.
An 8-hour flight is insufficient for all the Tetris that one wants
they could play. And I wanted to take a picture of it. Top score.
Oh, nice.
All-time top score in my chair.
You
23B.
do realize they reset that every flight.
I don't think they do. It said 23B, you're the best. I got all 3 top scores.
It said you're the best.
Yeah.
It said 23B, you're the best.
No, I was 1, 2, and 3. But there were people after me. I think it was a really high score.
Was the score under you like AAA and BBBB?
Yeah, that was me too. I also got those because I couldn't figure out how to put my name in for a while. But it was awesome. Tetris on planes. And then
It's a brave new world.
I know. There was a dude. I was thinking of you guys while I was on the flight because there was a dude next to me, and there were 50 options for the movies, and so he's scrolling through and he's doing that thing where it's the non-committal thing and trying to click through, and couldn't land anything. So finally, I did the hey. Just to let you know, I'm...
you mentioned that you were...
I was like, I have a podcast. I'm a casual moviegoer, and I can suggest a movie for you if you'd like. And he took me up on it.
This happened. And you referred to yourself as a casual moviegoer?
No. I was like, excuse me, sir, I see you've been scanning your movies for quite some time.
What did you recommend him?
So yeah, he was really weird. He was really awkward about it.
It sounds like he might have been at least the second weirdest person involved in this conversation.
It sounds weirder than it was. It was really, he looked like he needed help. So I was like, hey, are you into Westerns? He's like, maybe. And I'm like, what about, do you like some heist movies? He's like,
I'm so uncomfortable right now at the prospect of this.
I'm uncomfortable retelling the story. He's like, yeah, that sounds good. He was in his 40s, so it's like, how about some Hell or High Water? And he's like, okay. So then I'm feeling really good. I'm like, you know what? This movie bid, this thing we do, we're really making a difference in the world. I look over, not watching the movie. It's scanning through.
I think that's for the best. I think things would have gotten strange when the sex scenes started playing out.
Are there sex scenes in that movie?
Oh, absolutely. There are. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
No it's like
Ben Foster and the casino hostess.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
so.
that would have been...
maybe so.
Things would have gotten weird there.
Yeah, but it's not like a sex movie. It's not like saying, hey, there's this Eyes Wide Shut I think you should check out.
Still
With
a good
a little wink.
Still a good recommendation.
But what is the protocol with all the access to being able to watch any movie you want, anytime, anywhere? I feel uncomfortable sometimes watching a rated R movie with a little bit of something going on there. Like I'm always worried that someone's peeking over my shoulder and judging me, and they are.
Oh, totally.
And they are.
When I would watch movies on my commute in and out of Chicago on the train, I would always feel like incredibly self-conscious when like boobies would show up.
Yeah, I didn't recommend anything that I knowingly thought there were boobies. He did end up watching it after he scanned for a bunch of time. Then I got pleasure out. He was giggling at a lot of things. Okay. Then after it was over, I was expecting a thank you. I was like, hey,
maybe he's
really
listening right now. Maybe he is.
Maybe he is.
Gentlemen on the plane, I hope you enjoyed Hell or High Water.
I was like, excuse me, did you like the movie? He was like, I did. It was very good. Thank you.
So are one of these the ones you're going to be, the movies that you saw, are you bringing this to the worth mentioning table?
Yes. Thanks for reining me in. No.
Okay, you will not be. So what is the worth mentioning segment of the movies we've seen since the last episode? Which are the ones we want to talk about most? They could be great movies. They could be terrible. We mention them to you. We talk. You can laughing at me. Some segueing.
That's
Sorry,
were we done? I mean, we haven't even gotten to Italy yet.
She's still on the plane.
The Coliseum. I thought the story was the guy.
I want to know. Did you go to Cinecittà? I want to know if you did a proper movie podcast.
Is that a cheese place?
That is a very important movie studio.
Cinecittà cheese.
Cinecittà. Cinema City.
Yeah. No, where was that?
It's outside of Rome.
Skip that. Wasn't on the excursion list, but I did
go
recommend
to any of the great film archives of Italy?
No, I didn't.
Did you bump into Roberto Benigni?
I did do that.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually the guy next to me on the plane.
Italian thing.
No?
That makes sense.
Yeah, he liked the movie. Yeah, Hell or High Water when he was going home.
Did he walk across the airplane chairs like he did at the Oscars? No, nothing.
No.
Don't be fatuous, Rob. Airport chairs are very short.
So anyway, but I felt good about it. I didn't actually call myself a casual moviegoer, just so you know, just in case you were worried I did.
But you did mention that you are on a podcast.
No,
or that you
I just said
website.
I can help you with your movie. I'm not that weird. It wasn't weird.
I feel like, oh, by the way, I'm a podcaster about movies makes it less weird than just, would you like movie advice? Like you're some sort of fairy godmother just sort of drifting down.
No, I'm weird. It's fine. So anyway, I did see lots of movies, though. I'm excited to talk about them.
Are any of them worth mentioning?
They are worth mentioning. So, you know what? I guess I did see this one on the flight. Do you remember when we did top 5 religious movies and you said, hey, Carrie, you'd really love The Tree of Life?
I don't think
Tim said he loved The Tree of Life. We said probably stay away. Because you wouldn't.
Darn.
You might not.
So that was a good recommendation. But I didn't remember it. So I was all excited. I'm like, oh, sweet. The Tree of Life's on here. Tim loved this religious movie. This is going to be awesome. Frightening. Frighteningly devastating movie.
I mean, it's frightening to me just the thought of watching it on an airplane-sized screen.
So it was a 3x5, which I don't think probably benefited the graphics. No. And it was black and white. Is the movie black and white?
The movie is not.
It's
in fact,
color.
Black and white.
I thought maybe so.
Did you forget to adjust your color balance on the 3x5?
There's lots of possibilities on why, but I did watch the whole thing because I was like, Tim said it's good.
Well, it is good. I just don't know if it's the kind of good you would like.
You're right. It's not the kind of good I would like. So that was my worth. That was one of my worth mentionings. I did watch the whole thing. Have most people seen this movie? It's a Terrence Malick.
I think a substantial portion of the people who read movie websites and listen to movie podcasts have.
Yeah.
Most people have absolutely not.
I struggled with this one, was left with a lot of open questions that I think I'll probably ask you offline. Like, in the beginning, they open and somebody's died. I actually am still not clear on who that was that died. But which one? The younger or the older?
I believe the youngest brother.
See, that's never really told, is it?
You're looking at me. I don't watch Terrence Malick movies because they're over my head. Like, I just don't.
Sad.
I don't understand.
Sad movie.
Very sad movie.
Yeah.
Very sad. Very hard to watch on a 3x5 next to strangers. You know, like moderately weeping, but not really knowing why you're weeping. Like, is this a sad moment? Brad Pitt plays like a harsh dad, like in the 1950s. He's really tough on his kids, but he loves them at the same time. This tough love dad, and
he plays the Old Testament God, if you will.
Is that what that is?
That's what I think that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's an interpretation. That's not a fact.
There's a whole lot of like visuals that I probably didn't pick up on the 3x5.
The universe gets created.
Right.
At one point during the movie.
I saw that.
May or may not have been entirely clear.
It was on a much smaller scale. I think it would have been bigger, maybe.
Yeah, maybe not so much the universe getting created as like Poughkeepsie getting created.
Right. There was like an atom being created on my screen, but not for me. But it's good to know that I just misheard you.
It is not a movie for you. And I apologize for leaving you with the impression that was not the case.
So anyway, that was one of the ones that I caught, and then I'll let it jump to you.
Oh, you think I'm going to mention something?
You don't have anything to mention?
No, I do have. I don't think it's the thing that you thought I was. I'm not going to mention your top 5 summer movie.
I have that one too.
Okay, yeah, we can go around.
But I thought maybe that was worth mentioning.
No, no.
Clearly, we do not plan in advance for these podcast recordings. No, we could talk about multiple movies.
So we also saw The Book of Henry.
You did see The Book of Henry.
Which 5-star movie.
Do you remember where you had it on your top 5?
It was in my anticipated movies. I think it was like
I think
2
it was
or 1
3.
Or was it 3?
It was not 1. It might have been 2.
Oh yeah, because Wonder Woman was my number 1. Good on that one. Still feeling good about that. This was maybe 3. The amazing trailer to this movie. Still have some chills from that.
Amazing trailer.
So amazing trailer or not. Yeah. What did you think of the motion picture that trailer was attempting to advertise?
So I think that I can't tell if I don't think it was that bad because I don't like being wrong that much. There's like a little element of that, but I didn't totally dislike it.
Holy crap, are you serious?
You liked it or didn't like it?
You totally disliked it, right?
I hated it.
It's because it's unbelievably awful.
Did you see me fit? I was trying not to like make it obvious because we're not supposed to talk about it until now. But I was fidgeting in my chair, like just wanted to scream.
Oh, I thought you were nervous sitting next to me.
No, it was just absurd.
What?
It was just terrible.
So I'm going to split the difference between you two. I loved it because it's so unbearably fucking bad.
I don't think it was that bad. So let me set it up. It's directed by Colin Trevorrow, written by Greg Hurwitz. It stars Naomi Watts, Jaden Lieber, and Jacob Tremblay from Room, and Sarah Silverman makes an appearance in there too as one of the friends. With instructions from her genius son, he sets up and creates a notebook indicating to his mother how to set out to rescue a young girl from the hands of her abusive stepfather. And Naomi Watts has to go out and carry it out. And I didn't dislike it. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the little thing about it. Was it absurd? Did you have to suspend your disbelief? Could you believe that an 11-year-old could come up with all this stuff and that a mom could be so terrible?
I'm fine with everything you just said. Problem. That is not where, to me, the movie goes plunging into the screaming abyss.
Then where's the abyss?
Spoiler alert. Cover your ears if you haven't seen The Book of Henry. ... la-di-da-di-da. It's when the boy dies of cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
where in the hell did that come from?
That was unnecessary, and they continued to force feed you these emotions, which were like, I cried either way because I'm not inhuman, but
I am apparently very inhuman.
Yeah, but I'm mad at it as I'm crying. I'm like, you do not deserve these tears that I'm like. You're forcing this situation, and you're forcing all of these things to happen, and they're not plausible. Like they're not.
It's
plausible.
So weird, and it's like such a bizarre. Like the movie gains nothing from him dying, I don't think, except that it becomes then about like a mother's really weird ass coping mechanism for grief.
Well, no, I think it became about how was she going to be able to cope without him at all? Like, how could she survive? Or how could she live without him? And the only way she could live without him is if 11-year-old were no longer there. No? Yeah, that's the purpose.
I mean, the purpose of the movie is, like, the arc is Naomi Watts realizing, what the fuck is wrong with me? I've been letting an 11-year-old run my life.
Totally.
And there is a way to get there that isn't that plot.
It just felt so rushed. I felt rushed in their assembly of this. Like, they didn't think a lot of the things through. And I know it was shot in 36 days, which is short.
Which is sufficient.
I don't know what... This is so... I know you're not a fan, Tim, of Colin Trevorrow. I don't get what was going on here.
It's probably the Colin Trevorrow film I had the most pleasure watching.
So it just validated everything you felt?
No, just because like it was so bizarre and apeshit that I was like, what is going on?
Like nothing. But you thought the scenes made sense? Like, things don't make sense in this movie.
What about the scene where Sarah Silverman kisses Henry full on the lips?
I think that was like mother-child kind of thing.
I think she was thinking about feeling him up.
I thought it was. I was worried that it would go to some sort of like weird send off.
I thought she was thinking about tongue.
Yeah.
There was no
tongue. You've never, experienced
you
a woman.
Kiss people on the lips.
Take care of yourself.
Is like not that serious. It's like, I mean, everyone kisses on the lips. It's like
11-year-olds are kissed by 30-year-old alcoholic, like smoking addicted ladies.
Sometimes.
All the time.
Sometimes.
I don't like where your childhood was spent, Carrie.
Right. No,
There was a lot, Carrie. The tape being somehow to the minute, that really annoyed me.
I mean, to me, that was just like such a such a small detail.
There's so many. There's so many, though. There's so many.
Sprawling universe of Book of Henry.
So I didn't say that I loved this movie, but I didn't think that it was as terrible as it's being.
I feel bad for Naomi Watts, too. I feel bad for her.
Yeah, but she's got Twin Peaks. She's doing okay.
Yeah, she's fine, but it's just to give so much to the role, and I'm sure as she's reading and having to deliver the lines, it makes no sense. And I don't want to pick on the kids. I think they were. Jacob Tremblay was cute as always, and the other Jaden Lieber, who was in St. Vincent.
Yeah.
And
he was cute in that.
Midnight Special.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, he's good actor. I didn't buy him as the genius kid at all.
I think the genius kid was just misconceived at the level of writing. Like he was not a genius kid so much as he was some sort of like perfect little android monster. I didn't find the kid sympathetic at all. Like
is he going to make your top 5 robots?
Maybe. No, I hated Henry.
So will this?
Anyway. I was not sad Henry died.
As we reflect back, it's a little early.
It seemed to be painless.
Do you feel confident in your selection, sticking with the top 5?
I feel good about Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that's all you'll say at this time.
Wonder Woman's in my
top 5
all I want to say. So far.
That's all I want to say at this time.
All right, Tim, what did you see? Last episode.
I did see the Book of Henry and I wrote about it, so do be sure to check out my review. But for my worth mentioning, I want to talk about something that I didn't write up. A recent movie, a 2015 anime film that made the rounds in the United States in late 2016, early 2017. It's called Miss Hokusai. And it is the biopic of a young woman whose father, true story, like her father was an extremely important woodblock artist in 19th century Japan, and she became a very important painter in her own right. And so it's this very pretty anime film about like the creative process and how this woman learns to be a painter. Surprisingly, not a painterly film. Like the aesthetic of the film does not in any way try to mimic the fact that these are painters and woodblock artists, except for a couple scenes. So that was disappointing, but just the whole thing of it was just this really great sort of blurred the line between the way she saw the world and the way the world really was. So it keeps like suddenly becoming a fantasy film when you're not expecting it to. Really great soundtrack, very, very controversial soundtrack because it has a couple moments where it turns into hard rock. And this is a movie set in the 1830s, so it's very unexpected. I liked it. I thought it worked. So yeah, just a really good anime film. I picked it in no small part because I didn't see that many movies that I didn't write about this week. So I wanted to give some props to something I hadn't seen, but it is, if you like animation, totally worth seeing. It is not the year's best anime, but it's certainly a really, really solid import.
What is the year's best anime?
The year's best anime was, I would say, Your Name.
Your Name. Oh yeah. I saw you write about that.
Your Name is really damn good.
Yeah.
I wish I had some nice things to say about. I had bad luck I just made bad choices. I should say.
Was the Book of Henry not the worst movie you saw?
Hard to choose. It's bad.
Oh my.
It's a tough choice. I saw a lot of bad. No, it wasn't the. No, it was. I think it may have been the worst movie. It's so hard to tell. I also saw The Mummy and War Machine along with a couple others. I think I want to talk about War Machine though, because I believe what we do is provide somewhat of a way to steer people towards or away from movies. And Netflix. I want to talk a little bit about Netflix these days. And I've been a big fan of Netflix for years, over Amazon Prime for a lot of time. And I feel like this year was where I switched.
Yeah.
I'm switching over and I'm more Amazon Prime. I don't even go to Netflix hardly anymore because when you go on to Netflix now, they're pushing all of their original content, which was War Machine, 2017's War Machine, and it pegs it as a 97% match for me. So it's starring Brad Pitt, Anthony Michael Hall, Topher Grace, R.J. Seiler, Will Poulter. It's loosely based, or actually based off of a Rolling Stone article that follows Brad Pitt's character, which is it's about General MacArthur and his him coming to Afghanistan.
Is Brad Pitt General MacArthur?
Yes.
That's odd.
Yeah, it's an odd choice. It doesn't make any sense.
Makes very little sense.
Yeah, so he's playing like 20 years aged with like a with a look on his face and
what
like an accent.
What you cannot see right now, dear listeners, is that Rob is doing the face.
Yeah, it's a face.
He looks like an incontinent pirate right now.
Incontinent is very much what Brad Pitt looks like the entire movie, and it's trying to be, I think, like a Coen movie a little bit. It's trying to be, but there's no humor. At least when I saw it,
it's trying very poorly to be a Coen movie.
Yeah, it's very poorly. It's written by The book was written by Michael Hastings, and it's directed by David Michaud.
David Michaud. He's good.
Michaud?
He did that Animal Kingdom a few years back.
I'd really welcome you taking a look at this, Tim, and maybe I missed something. Maybe there's something buried there, like further meaning that I'm just not getting out of it. But what I really want to say is, if you value what I say, if you're one of the few listeners who value what I say, stay away from Netflix for a while, like of what they're pushing down as their original content. Stick with your House of Cards and all that stuff, sure, but their movies, other than the Idris Elba movie that I'm blanking on right now,
Beasts of No Nation.
Yeah, Beasts of No Nation, which was solid. War Machine just did not do it for me. Don't let Brad Pitt fool you. And this is the first.
Maybe it's post breakup. Maybe he's just taking what he can get.
It could be post breakup. He's still recovering. But this is the first movie where I saw Brad Pitt not playing a Brad Pitt type of character, and it made me wonder: is he not a good actor? Maybe. Like
he's not a super good actor. He's a very good movie star.
He's in the Tree of Life.
He's in the Tree of Life.
And how did
he is not? He's not.
He's a pretty good jerk.
I mean, that's the thing. It's not a role. It's a sort of figure to inhabit.
Because he's doing it's like a caricature. I did not for 1 minute.
I mean, General MacArthur was like a caricature, so that fits.
Okay, so maybe it's appropriate. Like if you know this, I don't know any of the backstory. I don't know anything about General MacArthur, but it was just such a caricature. I didn't think there wasn't a point in the time when I was watching the screen where I was like, that's Brad Pitt in some overweight suit and makeup. And
still look good, didn't he?
No, he did not. He did not. So now,
I'm going to check it out now.
Check it out. No, don't check out War Machine.
You've done a very poor job of you've now convinced both of your co-hosts to watch War Machine. So.
We're both in.
Yeah, I want Tim to see it. I wonder if I missed something. And I'd welcome it being pointed out to me.
Check it out. And I do want to not come to Netflix's defense, because right now they're on my shit list just because of what they did to Sense8 in the last month. They've been going on a cancellation spree of a lot of their shows. But they are, this coming Wednesday, going to be rolling out the film, I don't know how to pronounce the name, Okja, the new film by the director of The Host and Snowpiercer, which was at Cannes.
Ooh.
So, I mean, that's like a big ticket thing, so I'm excited for that.
Oh, did they pick that up?
They didn't pick it up. It's theirs.
Oh, it's there. It is theirs. Okay, well, maybe there's still some hope.
There was a whole big thing at Cannes. That
maybe what's happening is like a slew of their backlog of stuff that they had made, and they're like dumping that out, and maybe...
I don't think a Brad Pitt movie directed by David Michaud has gotten dumped out. I think that was meant to be a big old rollout.
Yeah, something went wrong there. But I'm excited about Okja as well. It's Tilda Swinton's in there as well, which I'll just probably buy into anything Tilda Swinton at this point in time.
Did you guys ever see... I'm not going to talk about these movies, but I did see them. Did you guys see Loving and Fences?
I saw both Loving and Fences.
Did you?
Neither.
You didn't?
Mm-mm. I never had a chance to make Fences.
I liked Fences a hell of a lot, and Loving was sort of just there.
So I'm the opposite. I really liked Loving. Fences, I was like, this is all taking place in one scene. Which,
yes, it is.
We should do a top 5 on one scene movies. Just so you know, I thought about that after seeing Fences. It was good. It was a good movie, mostly because of Viola Davis, but I won't go into that. We'll talk about it later. But anyway.
No, it's one of the few Oscar nominees.
Really good. You would really like it.
It's not an Oscar nominee. It's an Oscar winner.
Well, Oscar winner.
Oscar winner.
Yes, absolutely.
You got to see it.
Well, remember, you can find more details about all the movies we've watched at our website, alternateending.com. That's alternateending.com. Before we head to our break, you might be wondering about ways to support the show. Direct from our website, you can head to our Patreon page, which provides you access to a ton of perks. You may want to make us watch a movie, have Tim write a review, pick your own episode topic. You can do it all from our Patreon page. Also, I want to thank all of our listeners who support the show and make their Amazon purchases through our site. Doing it is easy. Just go to our website, alternateending.com. Click on our Amazon banner and seamlessly go about your purchases. All proceeds go to making our show better. Since our last episode had some purchases. Carrie, a movie that I think we were somewhat lukewarm about. This was an Amazon instant video purchase, The Best of Me. The Tears of Joy edition.
Oh, what's the different edition?
I'm not sure. More tears.
More tears. I think I had enough
more Nicholas
with
Sparks,
the original.
Crying with Cyclops.
Generally,
James
you do not cry tears of joy to Nicholas Sparks. You cry tears of leukemia.
Those are very specific tears. Yeah.
That was not the plot twist. I don't want to spoil it for this particular film, but do not necessarily recommend.
Heart thing?
I understand.
I can't remember.
I'm not going to get into it.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't seen it. No, I appreciate the purchase. Video games, Chiron the Wanderer for
that's a good
Nintendo.
one.
You don't know video games.
I know Chiron.
Chiron.
Is it Sheeran? Is that what
Sheeran, maybe that's what I'm trying to say. Sheeran, the Wanderer. Yes, that's probably right. We also had some patio furniture purchased, a 9-foot aluminum patio umbrella just in time for the summer, getting the old umbrella out.
Nice.
And a base.
No UV.
No, you don't want to get burned like Carrie.
Gently tan.
You're radiating heat.
Radiating.
Like, I think if we turned off the light, we'd be able to read by you.
I did miss this one spot. It's like white and then red. Anyway, go on.
Well, thank you guys for all your purchases. When we get back, our top 5 robots. And welcome back to Alternating. We're talking about our top 5 robots. Robots. That's my robot voice.
All right.
Good one. Good accent.
You do that.
So aside from an awesome voice like the one that I just gave, what is a robot? Did you guys contemplate this as you were narrowing down? How did you get to your top 5 list?
Well, I'll say this. I decided that a robot was not an artificial intelligence that was non-ambulatory, and I needed to decide that because Hale 9000 is a great character, but not a robot. He doesn't move. Robot's got to move.
That was your only restriction, was ambulatory? Which I just learned what that word, I'm guessing at what that word means.
It means he drives an ambulance. All 5 of my robots drive ambulances.
Perfect. We have the same criteria, which is great.
No, I mean, that was the big one. An artificial intelligence.
Didn't count.
That a being that moves. Didn't need to be a humanoid for me.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm excited because Tim's already wrong. All right, Carrie, to you.
For me, very specific, you also had to be ambulatory. Or wait, not be ambulatory?
Be ambulatory.
You had to be
maybe
ambulatory.
not. I don't know. Maybe we'll see your list.
You had
maybe
to
it's a whole
be
bunch of
ambulatory.
talking
You couldn't
statues.
have any sort of human matter.
Oh, I'm intrigued.
Okay.
I like
that was
this
a tough
care.
one for me.
I like
Yeah.
this care.
Okay.
We're syncing up here.
Yeah. So you couldn't be a cybernetic organism.
So excited.
Really?
I'm excited and not because I really thought I had you guys. I thought I could.
No. You had to be
I could
straight
win you
metal
over with
on me.
logic. Straight metal. I love it.
I didn't decide to eliminate that as a category. I just don't happen to have it in my 5.
Okay.
I purposefully did not include cyborgs.
Androids, no androids.
Nor androids.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a whole good list. You could just have
They're practically
androids.
human. That's not
They're human.
Not a robot.
So I went for purely mechanical
Yep.
and not meant to pass for human.
All right.
Which is how robot is really kind of defined.
A little looser than that, maybe.
I actually believe that is not at all.
I know
You just
it's
made
not.
that up. Yeah.
No, I did make that up. I think androids and cyborgs are subsets of robots. I don't know if that's correct or not, but
Well, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I would say that by virtue of being subsets of robots.
no, exactly. So I'm that's why I'm saying I'm not being truthful with that statement. But I stuck with the mechanical ones that aren't meant to
Yeah.
try to pass for human at all or humanoid. That's what I went for.
Didn't have that.
Wait, so you went for human?
I mean, you could look like a human.
You just said you didn't do androids.
Is that what? I mean, I didn't do.
An android is a robot that has a human's shape.
Oh, is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So maybe I did some androids. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when we get to the list.
I will say this. My list, which I had a lot of robots. I had way too many robots. So I did decide to try and filter my list a little bit by trying to look at different robots that answered the question, what is the condition of being a robot?
Oh.
So my robots are all sort of tied into that question. So that's maybe the criterion I had. Is they all had to tell us something about robotness, except maybe for my number 4, which is just a cool fucking robot.
All right, Karen, number 5 to you then.
Oh man. All right. There's a lot of pressure here. I feel like you guys are the type of people that have a hefty robot list, I would guess. So for me, love this robot, but he's going number 5 because I've used him in the last 40 episodes, is Mr. Wally.
Wally is on my list. He is my number 2. And
Number
he is-
2?
He is,
My
he is
number
a
3.
robot that I hold very dear to my heart.
He is sweet. You know why he made number 5? He doesn't talk much. Just more of a doer.
But when he talks, he makes it count.
That's also important. That's also. I haven't met anyone like that before.
Wally.
Oh yeah, see.
Which was better, my Wally or Rob's duck
Robot.
saying robot?
I'm gonna go with neither and just hope that something better comes
All
later. But yeah, I go number 5 is Wally. We've talked about this movie a million times. Classic,
classic.
and pure metal.
Pure
metal robot.
And Wally's childlike innocence and but still willingness to just repeat the same action.
His willingness to fuck Eve.
That's what he said.
They don't actually.
Yeah.
They're never intimate, are they?
Are you worried? You have a concerned look.
Wait, no, but they're never. Wait, what? They're never.
They have. I mean, how is a robot going to be intimate with another robot?
There's lots of ways.
I think they explore some of them in the course of the plot of Wally.
Really?
No.
No.
Maybe.
Oh. No,
yes.
they don't.
Well,
I
there's the
missed that.
scene at the end, which is totally
Where she
robot.
gives him her leaf?
That's totally banging. They're
Does she
knocking
give her
boots.
green? Oh, okay.
No, I'm talking about when she zaps him in the head.
Interesting.
No, Wally's number 3 for me. His childlike innocence, care, and view of the world. Like, I don't know, he's so adorable. And you said that Kim, you have a toy. You have a Wally toy.
I have 2 Wally toys.
So do you take
one of
the
them
Wally,
talks, one of them does not.
You take the Wally toy and the Eve toy, and you
play with them.
You put them together. Is that what you're doing over there?
I know what you're doing.
I'm not gonna say.
With the what's Wally's stand? Waste allocation load lifter, Earth class.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
And that matters because there are Wall A's to be seen in the movie.
What's
as
the
well.
A?
Axiom class.
Interesting.
Axiom being the space
Facts
ship.
I would never have known and will never retain.
Well.
No. What does that make your number 5?
So my number 5 in that case is a 1956 creation. Robbie the Robot, who first appeared in the movie Forbidden Planet, where he was, I'm going to pull this up because I don't want to get it wrong, voiced by Marvin Miller and played by stuntman Frankie Darro. And Robbie is sort of the platonic ideal of the nuclear age robot. He's got things that spin and are circular, and he's got like vacuum tubes, and he's got digital readouts and shit, and like a glass globe on his head. So totally the thing you think of when you think of like a 50s era robot. And that's in part because he had such a remarkably long-lived career. Robbie prop was used in so many movies over the next decade and a half. He's in an episode of The Twilight Zone. Just like very, very classic robot, totally pulp sci-fi from the mid-century. Not much of a personality, I'm not going to lie, but he looks like $1 million.
So you went on looks,
Tim
not
often
personality.
In this particular case.
Yeah,
I'm a very shallow person.
I could have guessed
enormously look-based.
I've never seen that, but
Forbidden Planet's real good. A lot of the Robbie Robot movies are shit, but Forbidden Planet is an absolute stone classic.
And that's your 5. So what does that make your 5?
For me, I go back to the well of my childhood. One of the first, I think it's the second
It's on my list.
Second robot that I was exposed to.
This is what I think you're going to say. You're a bad person. Just gonna.
No. I don't think we're going to line up here. I don't think there's going to be line up here. I think this is a forgotten robot.
It's
not. When I was a kid, I was 4 years old at the time of this release, and wasn't sure what I wanted to be. But after watching this, I wanted to go to space camp. I absolutely wanted to go to space camp after watching the movie Space Camp. Either of you see this?
No.
No, I've never.
There was a robot named Jinx. Great name for his personality type. A little bit mischievous. Mm-hmm. He befriends a young, I think it was his first appearance, Joaquin Phoenix's first appearance. He was still
as the robot?
No.
Damn it.
It was the friend who was. There were all these kids at space camp. They go to space camp, learn how to do astronaut stuff. All supposed to be fun and games, and
then they have to go fight the Russians on the moon.
Jinx sends them into space. The robot sends them into space after befriending this Joaquin Phoenix character.
Of this.
Oh, it's a cute movie.
It sounds almost as plausible as Book of Henry, so I can't imagine.
The problem with the movie's release, I think it would have done actually really pretty well. It was made for $18 million, but only took in $9 million. If anybody knows their history on what happened in 1986, was the Challenger unfortunately exploded, and 7 astronauts lost their lives. And this movie actually was shot well before then, and the issue that they have in trying to re-enter, it sends a bunch of space camp kids into space by accident, is basically what happens, because the Jinx robot befriends Joaquin, and Joaquin says the robot is very literal, and Joaquin says, man, it'd be really great to be out in space. So he wants to help out his friend and help him get to space, of course. So as they're kind of hiding out in the actual spacecraft, Jinx sneaks down, does some coding work, and off they go into
Thankful
space.
for
He sounds like an asshole.
Yeah, surprisingly, he survives he's found out, and it's like, Jinx, just being Jinx.
How old is Joaquin Phoenix in this? If it's 86, he's got to be like
He was probably
less than 10.
Yeah, he was the younger of the.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Yeah, so he was probably 12, 13 in this movie, maybe younger. We also
River,
have
just so you
Preferred
know.
River.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't everybody or no?
I think that's the.
I mean,
Is that
it's
are we in
it's
agreement
so hard
on
to compare
that?
them because of River being dead.
Yeah, it's true. It was unfortunate.
This movie had a young Kate Capshaw, Leah Thompson, Kelly Preston, Tate
So just
Donovan, Tom
everybody
Skerritt
who's good.
from the '80s. I mean, these were 80s stars, and now
Tom
into
Skerritt was in everything in the 80s.
Yeah.
Poison Ivy.
I like this movie. I actually do. It has a lot of nostalgia factor for me. So Jinx the Robot sticks with me even after all of these years.
Okay.
Number 5.
Never heard of it.
You've just given away one of yours, Care.
I did.
Yeah, I'm
What
sure.
is my number 4 then?
You put it number 4.
Yeah. What is it?
If we're lining up, well, I don't want to. No, you
What
have
is
to
it?
say. You have to
Just
say
tell
it
me
in
what
case
it.
I'm
How
wrong.
well do you know me, Rob?
No, in case I'm wrong, I will tell
Just
you.
tell
I will
me.
be honest with you if I'm right.
Okay. Is it the 1986 Short Circuit?
Yes, it
I
is.
for sure thought that was going to be Rob's.
Yes,
damn it.
I love Short
It's
Circuit.
number 1 for me. No, it is mine.
Really?
Yes, it's my number 1.
What is wrong with you? Why are you both such sick human beings?
the best robot?
He is not even
Johnny
slightly the
5,
best
I'm
robot.
alive. Yeah, number 5. One of a group of experimental military robots undergoes a sudden transformation after being struck by lightning. He develops awareness, self-awareness, consciousness, and a fear of reprogramming.
And a terrible sense of humor.
No, he's hilarious.
And he kept it.
Oh my
Have either of you
gosh.
seen this movie since your age crossed the 2-digit threshold?
Don't
No,
need to.
I just
no.
wanted to confirm.
Don't need
I
to.
never want to.
And he keeps it.
Okay,
You
we
don't
got
have
it,
to
yeah.
repeat
do it
lines
again.
multiple
You kind of
times.
sound Italian, yeah.
It also is one of the first movies where I saw the equivalent of like Indian blackface, where Fisher Stevens plays an Indian. Like
That is Indian blackface is a perfect.
I'm not really sure how to
I believe
describe it.
brown face would be the correct
Okay.
terminology.
True.
But I'm glad that you acknowledge that your number 1 robot of all time is in a deeply racist motion
I
picture.
don't fault Johnny for that. That's
It's
not Johnny's fault.
5's
He didn't do the,
We're
he didn't
picking
do the
robots,
casting.
right? So it's just Johnny 5.
We are picking robots.
And he is quite the robot. He's only at number 4 for me. So he starts to evade his capture because whatever robot wants to get taken in.
Right.
I mean,
Because I'm just be made a war machine again.
everybody loves
And
this
have
movie.
to kill people, and there might actually be an interesting plot attached to this movie.
You know what? Your problem is you've watched this recently.
Not even that recently, like 15 years ago.
Exactly. When you're 50 years old. No, you've seen this more recently than you should have. You should have never rewatched this.
It's got
after
the goot. It's
age
got the
of
goot in it.
7.
Gutenberg?
Yeah. Little
I
Gutenberg,
love
little
that every
Ali
word
Sheedy.
that comes out of your mouth, Rob, reminds me of how terrible this motion picture is.
So
Is Ali Sheedy sweetening the deal? with it?
Ali Sheedy is fine. Ali Sheedy is not someone I have an issue with.
He
Yeah.
dances with her like Saturday Night Fever
I
style, which
know.
the director John
And his little-
Badham
His
directed.
little eyebrows. He has
Yeah.
little eyebrows that go up and down, mechanical eyebrows.
I will say this. It is quite obvious that they cribbed, let us say. Let us not use a stronger word. They cribbed some of his design for Wally.
Agreed. I wondered that too after I saw that, but some nostalgia for sure. Won't ever rewatch it
All right.
for a reason.
As
Great,
long as
you know, I didn't mention this in my. This is the robot I want to hang out with. Like these are robots I want to.
I've got
I want
other
to spend some
robots.
time with.
I have more robots I want to hang out with, but I'll get to that. So this puts it to your number 4.
So my number 4 is a robot that would just stomp the shit out of your Johnny
Not
5.
Johnny 5.
Stomp the shit out of Johnny 5, stomp the shit out of all the humans, stomp the shit out of Tokyo, because my number 4 is none other than Mechagodzilla.
That's a human tissue thing.
No, not Mechagodzilla.
It could be.
Mechagodzilla is a large robot clone of Godzilla.
He doesn't have any human tissue.
Well, he has no human
I mean, he
tissue.
has no
he would have Godzilla
lizard
tissue. But no,
tissue.
he is an entirely synthetic being.
All right.
All robot, all the time. Appeared in 5 movies, the first one of which was Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Who won?
Godzilla.
Oh.
Tended to win almost all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, has
Mechagodzilla's
Godzilla
always
ever
bad.
lost?
He's not always bad.
Spoiler?
I think in the most recent film, Mechagodzilla is good. Generally, Mechagodzilla is always bad.
Okay.
Certainly in Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, he's an alien trap trying to destroy Godzilla, but Godzilla figures him out and burns off his
just
fake
knows.
Godzilla skin and turns him into a robot.
So what you're saying is their skin.
He has a skin suit.
Okay.
But he is the robot.
Okay.
It is the robot.
It is the robot.
I think it is very clearly
Mr.
not
Mega.
gendered.
Mr.
Yes.
Mega is the... Okay.
So Mechagodzilla is, again, like I said, I picked my number 4 because my number 4 was a fucking cool robot. And he is one of the best looking giant monsters in the entire history of Japanese cinema. I probably prefer the design of the suit in the second film that he appears in, Terror of Mechagodzilla from 1974, I believe. But you can't go wrong. All 5 of the Mechagodzilla films are top-notch Godzilla. I love them all. Great
And bots,
monster.
robots.
Looks so cool.
It's a little bit of a segue, but I'm curious now because I thought I don't know the history, but you said alien at one point, so I had a struggle with this too. We were talking about top
Can't
5
put
robots.
Bishop.
No, I'm not talking about that alien.
Oh, sorry.
I'm talking about alien beings that are robots, like Transformers. Like they're built as robots. What were your guys' feelings on those? Like
That they are shitty movies and did not qualify.
but not necessarily
Well,
because there are other movies where the sentient being from another planet happens to be mechanical. Like,
I would not have a problem with that, but I feel like I'm also defining my list a little bit less strenuously than you.
yeah,
are.
I left those types of robots out that were alien
Yeah.
robots.
Agreed.
Okay, just interested.
So
Thanks.
if it is a robot that can sexually reproduce, you're saying that it does not count.
Correct.
All right.
That was my
Okay.
criteria.
I think mine too.
For number 4, I would be surprised if one or the other did not make either of your lists. I kind of combined.
Okay. You can't do that.
Okay, then I'm picking
No.
one.
Okay,
I'm
just do
sticking
it.
with
Stick
the one
with
that
it.
I want.
And
This
you
is
can
really
never
the one I
say
want
the
to hang
name
out
of
with.
the other one ever. Okay.
Okay, it won't be obvious.
Okay.
I'm talking about R2D2
Of course.
from Star Wars. That's got to be the favorite amongst
No.
the two.
Not on my list.
C2-3PO
See,
is definitely the favorite.
Such a favorite that you don't even know his name.
C3P2O.
No 2. 2 is not part of his name.
No. So 3PO.
3PO. Got it.
Right.
Good.
you guys have no Star Wars robots.
I do not have the Star Wars robots.
No.
They're lovely robots. They're very
R2D2.
well designed.
R2, no.
R2D2 would have been my pick of the 2.
Really? Even with the British accent? Or the accent that the...
There's an accent.
It's British.
Oh,
It is
he's
British.
so much funnier than R2D2.
You have not watched Star Wars in a very long time either, have you?
No.
Kind of really bad comic relief
Oh,
most
but
of the
he's
time,
funny.
actually.
And they're
He's
both,
cute.
and that's why they're both. I mean, they're both set up for comic relief. But R2D2 has the personality that
His comic relief.
His
is better,
comic relief is better.
And also pantomime, so brings us back to the tradition of Chaplin.
Yes.
Keaton,
And-
Alan Lloyd.
Nah.
He is the Charles Chaplin of robots.
He's just a lot of beeps, right? He's like...
He's beeps.
But it's
Yeah.
But
it's
they're very
how
thoughtful beeps.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
they're delivered.
So do you feel like you know what he's saying?
how
with
they're
his beeps?
delivered.
Well, how the timing in which they're delivered by Kenny Baker, who played the
They're
original.
delivered by Ben Burt, who is also the
Wait,
voice
so
of Wally.
there's
Wait,
an
Ben
actual
Burt
person
did-
that beeps?
Ben Burt was the sound designer
Oh my goodness!
and
My
also the
mind's
sound
being blown.
creator of Wally.
So what did Kenny Baker do exactly?
He
was-
stood in the can and wiggled.
Oh. Wow.
You know,
I'm so
all,
sorry, Kenny
all
Baker.
love to Kenny Baker's memory. It's a tragedy he died. That is not a role that needed to be played. Like, let's be blunt.
How would you wiggle
I thought
without
he
it?
did.
with
The
a
voice.
remote control?
Oh,
which is how
yeah.
they do it now
Remote
and
wiggle.
or CGI. But
Sure.
I did not. I thought Kenny
No,
was
it
doing the voice.
Ben Burt did the beep. Well, he doesn't have a voice. He beeps.
Well, I thought he did the beeping.
The beeps were included in post production.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. This is why I go back to why
So
I
does he
see-
fall off your list now?
No, he doesn't fall off my list. I was trying to give a little bit of pay a little tribute to Kenny Baker, but
Oh my gosh.
And there's plenty to pay tribute to. I mean, the physical timing of the role is good. It's very good.
and this is where I wish I had a little bit of knowledge of anime and things. Older movies as well. Akira Kurosawa's The Hidden Fortress, I understand, is
Not
Lucas.
anime. Live action.
Oh, live action.
Live action
Sorry,
motion picture.
sorry. Japanese name, assume. Anime, perhaps, is what I'm doing there. But apparently,
Just the director of such obscure little foreign films
Like the
as
Seven-
Rashomon and Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai. That's right. George Lucas was greatly influenced, I guess, by.
Greatly influenced.
Is it?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it obvious when you see
It's
it now?
really obvious.
R2D2 and the kind of comic
It's
sidekicks.
obvious enough that it's slightly hard to rewatch Star Wars, kind of.
Then I won't be seeing it.
It's a very good movie. You should see it.
And then
So
I will.
that
then
was-
It's
I
like
will see it.
Star Wars with the droids, Han Solo, and no Luke Skywalker, so it's better.
So that was mine. I prefer R2D2 over
No.
C3PO. There was a lot of debate on our
C3PO.
site about this, and
Definitely C3PO.
unclear who comes out on top.
So
I
does
mean,
that make it-
BB-8 is the best of the three of them. Let's be clear.
Yes, BB-8's growing on me.
BB-8's fucking cute.
BB-8's...
Who's BB-8?
Force Awakens. You haven't
she
seen
hasn't
Force
seen it.
Awakens.
Oh, have I seen it?
We'll need to make you
No,
see
I
Force
haven't
Awakens.
seen it.
There was a lot of love to it, and it might be on your list. Rogue One Robot as well, too.
Nope, it's the BB-8.
BB-8.
BB-8's the best in the
Okay.
series.
All right, to my number 3 is one that might make your list, but might not, but I had to call out, is Robot from Robot and Frank. Have you seen
I
this?
have not seen Robot and Frank.
Oh, Tim.
Yeah, Tim, I think you'd like it.
2012's Robot and Frank, directed by Jake Schreier, written by Christopher Ford. You will love this movie. It's super weird.
All right. I like that is the only criterion you think I need
the
to like a
only
movie.
thing you need. It's a little indie flick, right, Rob? I'm
Yeah.
just going to look at Rob because he saw it with me. It's set in the near future. Frank is a retired jewel thief who's played by Frank Langella.
Right.
And he goes out, he's kind of, he's suffering from dementia. And so he goes out and he's on his own and his son is taking care of him and realizes he needs help. So at the time, they purchase robots to help care for the elderly. And the robot is played by Peter Sarsgaard. And it's a story where he joins up with, he's a retired jewel thief from when he was younger. He joins up with the robot to like recapture his youth. And he goes back into the game to like become a thief with his robot. And it's the relationship of him and his robot. Super cute. And a movie that I think a lot of people have probably missed. But if you like kind of those indie flick type things, you should try and catch it.
No, I liked it a lot, too.
It was really good. Didn't make your list, though.
I just don't know if Robot was he was a great robot. I have it on my list of worth mentionings, but...
Super cute. One that I'd like to call out for people because it's not the obvious one that everyone's seen.
People should see
you
it.
should see it, yeah. So that makes it to your 3, right?
That makes it my number 3. And so we've hit the first one where it's just straight up not at all the same rules as you, my dear co-hosts, because this is all about a robot that is able to mimic human beings. That is the exact function she serves in the plot.
It's mine. I have it as the same.
I guarantee this is not on your list.
Okay.
This is from the 1927 German silent film Metropolis.
Just missed your list, right, Carrie?
Same.
It is the robot Maria, played by Bridget Helm, who in the movie is this robot created by the evil villain to replace the good human Maria in like being this crazy, psycho, rabble-rousing monster. When we see the robot as a robot, first things first, very, 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 very influential design, clearly inspired C-3PO, among other things. The first robot. They didn't have the word robot yet. They were like,
No.
here's a machine person, because they didn't have the word robot.
You said 1927?
1927.
I feel like there had to have been robots before
Word
that.
robots from the 1930s. There were
Interesting.
robot-esque things, but robots, as we think of robots, like a machine, human,
This started it.
introduced in 1927's Metropolis. Great, beautiful visuals. Bridget Helm's performance as the robot is crazy, over-the-top, melodramatic silent acting, and I love it. Really great villain. Just a really great design. I mean, that's what it comes down to. If you've seen the poster for Metropolis, you've seen this character. Like, she is the icon of the movie and just looks so great. Such a like sleek Art Deco future thing going on. So I mean, that's part of it. It's just like the idea of the robot as, you know, this human simulacrum, and then it's also just this really incredibly influential design that everything we think of when we think of robots tracks back to this moment.
Well, especially 1927. I mean, it's like, what?
Wow.
I'm curious now. I'm going to have to like Google this later to be like, what does this look like
It looks
from
pretty
that
damn
long ago?
cool.
It's good.
It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna look.
You guys should see Metropolis. It's a good movie.
I mean,
And I know you both love silent films.
I mean,
what
I
I
do.
live for.
When no one's talking, it's the best. I'm just joking. I'm not joking.
I'm left with my number 2, guys. That's all I got left.
Well, that's all you
Because
have
your number
left.
one was taken
It
away
was taken from
you.
Johnny
What is
5.
it?
It actually...
I have it. I know it's on my list.
I don't think it is. I don't think you've seen this. You claim to have. I don't think you actually have. You lied to our daughter. This one falls more in alignment with the caregiving aspect. I'm talking about a robot created by Tadashi Hamada in Baymax from Big Hero 6, 2014's
Oh,
Big
I
Hero
did
6.
lie. I think I did lie.
I don't think you've seen this
I don't
movie.
think I have either.
But that is a robot I want to hang out with. And I mentioned it with Jinx too, very literal, where the way that the robot is literal adds some humor in this particular movie. Did you like Big Hero 6? I know
I didn't like it.
you didn't.
I thought it was fine.
Is it Disney?
It's Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have very neutral feelings about it. I love Baymax.
Do we
Baymax
own
is
it?
adorable.
Yes, we do own it.
I should watch
And
it.
we should watch it, and then you will also fall in love with Baymax. Cute, cuddly, made of vinyl to give him the non-threatening look.
Nice.
That's why they did it.
Metal can be
Basically, looks
threatening.
like the Michelin Man.
Yeah.
Looks,
Well,
looks
puffy
even
marshmallow
less
man.
threatening than that.
Yes,
Yeah.
and cuddly, and just wants to help. Wants to help you with your whatever medical ailment.
And is very, 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 very cute when he's interacting with a cat.
Is he a little evil though? Does he have any evil?
He is the least evil imaginable character.
Really?
Just
I'm gonna
wants
beat
to help.
Baymax.
And there's scenes where he gets like holes in him because he's
Yeah.
full of air.
Oh.
And he's just
Okay.
trying to like plug one, and then like another one comes
so it's
out.
kinda
Oh, it's
sad.
great. It's great
so
humor.
cute.
There's
No,
a lot
it's
of
not
funny.
sad.
Does
No.
he deflate ever?
He never. Well, he does, but it's done in a funny way.
But what happens when he deflates?
He dies screaming.
Oh, see, I don't want
And
to
the,
watch
and
that.
the next half hour of the movie is his funeral. And
It's
then
like
it
a
ends.
balloon, and then they bury a balloon.
Yes. No.
Oh.
None of these terrible things happen. He's a very cute, lovable
Okay.
character.
Voiced by Scott Adsit, and hopefully I'm getting this one right. But yeah, I loved the voice. Loved his interaction with Hero, the hero of the so to say. It's
I
late.
think you might have come up with the strange and inexplicable reason they named the character this way in the script and in the comic book inspiring it.
But he's intended to improve healthcare around the world, but he improves not only the health of people's
You're
lives.
really selling us. You're selling us.
It's
Baymax
themselves.
is good. I don't need to
Good
be
stuff.
soft. I don't
Okay.
like the movie. I do like Baymax.
okay. Baymax, best robot, second best robot after Johnny Five.
so what are you down
What do you guys
to then?
have? What do you guys have
Well,
left?
we've done my number two.
I have
we
one
done
and
your
two.
You've got one and two.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and give us your two.
So my two, which I'm so surprised isn't on any of your lists.
Might be my number one.
It could be your number one. It should be your number
It's
one,
not my
probably.
number one.
It's not.
I
It might
think
be.
my number one's not eligible by your rules.
Is it a she?
No.
And maybe this is where I may have stretched my
I mean,
rules a
robots
bit.
are all its. Robots aren't people.
Oh, but she's a people. She's a people, and that's Ava from Ex Machina.
I can see why you would have thought this would have been on my list.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a good movie. And it's weird that it would cross both of our lists. Rob introduced this one to me, and I wasn't sure what to think. It's directed and written by Alex Garland. I don't know what else he's done, but
Not much in the way of directing, but he's written a lot.
a lot of other things.
Roach Sunshine.
So it's Alicia Vikander who plays Ava. Gorgeous gal. I don't know what else she's been in either, but she should be in some things.
She's the Danish girl's wife.
In The Danish Girl?
In the Danish girl.
I haven't seen that.
By some readings, she is the Danish girl, and that's the twist.
She's very lovely.
Am I right? Academy Award winning?
Academy Award winner.
Okay.
Loved this movie. And then Domhnall Gleeson? Donald, thank you. Donald Gleeson he's also the guy who's in Black Mirror. It's a TV show. Remember?
He did an
He's
episode
in
of
an
Black
episode
Mirror.
of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
He's also in...
As a robot.
He's in the Star Wars, not as a robot, in The Force Awakens.
He was not a robot.
He remember
Oh,
he
in
comes
Black-
back as
okay,
the
comes
yeah.
back. Okay.
Because I was almost
Spoiler
like,
alert for Black Mirror!
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry. And then Oscar Isaac, who both of us have always loved. We saw him in 10 Years several years ago, which was a really cute little romantic comedy flick. I don't know what it was. Good music, good tunes. It was a really good movie. But anyway, a young programmer is selected to participate in a groundbreaking experiment in synthetic intelligence by evaluating human qualities of a beautiful girl named Ava, beautiful robot named Ava. And so this kind of like awkward, weird guy goes out to and encounters this beautiful robot, and it's the relationship from there. Story was I don't know. It was just so original to me. Maybe it's not, and maybe you guys have seen something else like it.
It's not original, but it's a really, really solid piece of speculative fiction.
I like the idea. I like Turing, the Turing test thing, and that's not original necessarily, but I just like the idea of trying to prove what separates us
makes
from
a
machine.
human, yeah.
You know, and yeah.
Consciousness or feeling, like that kind of blurred line of feeling. And this one definitely explores that. So I loved this movie. I thought it was good. And Oscar Isaac was awesome in this movie too.
He was awesome.
Yeah, it's
Super
good.
creep in this movie. So
Best
anyway,
best role since Apocalypse. That's a joke.
because he's not good in Apocalypse.
Well,
He was in that before he was in Apocalypse.
I know.
So it's
Best
wrong.
one after.
Yeah. Apocalypse.
I just meant.
You meant
Apocalypse
his
was
best
terrible.
performance is Apocalypse, and his second best performance is in Ex Machina.
Absolutely. That's
And
what I'm saying.
third is
I
in 10
agree.
years. See, you guys agree on something. That's nice.
We don't.
No, we don't. That's not
Don't
true.
agree,
And
no.
I'm just making.
We
things
agree
up.
that what he just said is wrong.
You guys are all on the same page. What you're saying is they're on the same page.
Yeah, it didn't meet my criteria because she, to me, was more obviously.
I
android.
actually Wikipedia'd Ava, and she is not categorized as she's categorized as a robot.
She's meant to pass for human, which is why I have disqualified her. I think she's awesome, but does not make my list.
Well, then you're going to hate my number one, which the reason Ava did not make my top 5 is because when the time came to pick a robot whose presence in the narrative is all about exploring that porous line between, so here's a human, here's a synthetic being, but maybe the synthetic being is actually a better human than the humans that created her are. Couldn't go with Ava because I had to go back to the OG of movie androids who are like all about that. Roy Batty from the movie Blade Runner, played by Rutger Hauer. Just this incredible, like murderous robot gone AWOL, but who we discover throughout the course of the movie has a deeper, more feeling connection to the universe and to everything around him than any other character. And all of these humans who are trying to track him down and destroy him are basically just like ants. And he has this such greater access to like knowledge and wisdom and emotion. And it's just this incredible sci-fi conceit. I mean, the robot who is more human than human is a long-standing thing in science fiction. Never done better than in Blade Runner. Never done better than in this really amazing performance. There's a great monologue at the end. If you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about, where he just lays out this sort of beautiful vision of what he's experienced before he, ceases to function. And it's every time I see that movie, I'm always just amazed by how much better that character seems to me than every other character and how much more the movie gets to explore with him. So that was for me where the list started. Like I knew that was my number one. I knew I never had to make any other decision. So I know that he would not meet your criterion at all, Rob, but this was for me a no-brainer.
Just an awesome android. I mean, got to be for me. Yeah, it would probably be if we were doing androids. He's got to be up
he's
there.
A replicant.
I mean, he's a replicant.
replicant.
He's seen things.
He's seen things.
Is that
He's
like a
seen things.
bishop?
He's
Is he a
seen
bishop?
things you people wouldn't believe.
But is that like a bishop or a...
He's like a bishop.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm excited, Care, when the time does come for you to see
We are
Blade
going to
Runner.
make you watch
Yeah.
Blade Runner, and you are going to love it. And if you
Are you
don't,
sure?
this podcast is going to shudder
It's
on the
over.
spot.
I'm
I
just
actually
gonna
think you
leave.
might. I think there's a
I
chance
liked
you might.
Alien.
I
Is it
think-
kind of like Alien or Aliens? No.
Well, it's the same director as the first Alien.
Yes.
Oh, see, I
And
might.
it very much feels like it takes place in the same universe.
Okay.
And it almost. We're going to get off. I don't want to get us off topic, but it almost feels like Ridley's trying to like get back Blade Runner and put it into Prometheus. And
I shush.
you think too much?
I think that no, I don't think it's too much. I just think that don't.
I don't feel like that's all I was going to say.
Blade Runner's good. Don't put it in the
It's
same
really
box as the shitty Alien prequels.
It's good, but you know what? It's not as good as.
What is it not as good as?
Let
Carrie?
me tell you, Tim.
Please do.
I'm going to name a couple names and we'll see if anything comes to your mind. Dark Helmet, Barf, and Lone Star.
Wait, where are we at? Your number one?
Where am I
Yeah,
number
her
one?
number one.
With Dot Matrix.
Better than your number one.
Yeah, Dot Matrix, Spaceballs, 1987. Did you forget about Dot?
Raspberry jam? Who does raspberry? What's the jam?
What?
Jelly?
What are you talking about here?
There's only one man.
There can only be one man. I don't know what you're saying right now.
What?
I don't know.
With Rick Moranis' character.
Yeah.
When he gets jammed, the radar gets jammed.
Oh,
Gosh, guys.
That is like not even in the top 30 gags.
Oh,
no,
for
and
sure
that's not
it
even
is.
Dot Matrix.
No, it's not Dot Matrix. I don't know what she
No,
says.
Dot Matrix is the most amazing. She's the upgrade from C2O. I really don't know what that is. What is it?
C3PO?
C3PO.
C3PO. I'll remember that. So she's the upgrade to C3PO. Dot Matrix.
Right?
Come on. Directed and written by Mel Brooks. Do you remember Spaceballs?
Of course.
I mean,
I'm with you. I'm
this is
right
the
here.
upgrade.
I just quoted Jam. Of course I know.
You quoted some made-up scene that nobody but you remembers.
Do you remember when they're out there combing the desert
Combing
with
the
the
desert.
comb?
Combing the desert over the jam?
Yes.
The jam is
Clearly, self-evidently, the combing the desert
jam.
joke is
What's
better.
the thing
There's
where she
only
has
one
like
man.
the virgin? She has
The
like
virgin alert.
The virgin alert. Oh my gosh, Dot.
Voiced by the one and only
Joan Rivers. I know. And how could it possibly be more perfect than Joan Rivers voicing Dot? And Dot's the one that holds this movie together. which is why it makes my number one.
I'll concede that it is a robot, and that's where and that is about all I'll give you.
Johnny 5 was your number one. I don't think you have the moral standing to give anybody
So
shit
good.
about
I would
anything.
hang with Johnny 5.
There's going to be a large contingent of people that come out there and they're like, yeah, Spaceballs. Everybody else forgot about it.
Well,
And
we can actually clear the air there and figure it out and see.
Okay.
With our audience top 5. Every episode, we randomly select one member of our audience who shared their pick. Based on the feedback this week, here is the audience's top 5. So we had a lot of people write in, quite a lot of ties in the upper part. So that was a loud swish. we had so I'm going for tie for number 3. We actually have R2-D2 and C-3PO and the T-800. I'm surprised if you guys were cool with...
The T-800 was my number 6.
Okay, so
I
it
had
qualified.
A top 15.
Okay, this one, the T-800 just did not qualify for me. You know, no love for Terminator?
Oh, he didn't qualify because he was that thing. He was the...
Austrian.
Yeah, no Austrians. No, he was a cybernetic organism with a robotic exoskeleton, endoskeleton.
Okay. Endoskeleton, yeah.
Because I would say because he still functions entirely well as just the endoskeleton. I don't think he is a cyborg. I think the skin is just a ruse, much as the
he needs that
Mechagodzilla
skin.
ruse.
I feel
Why
he's
would it grow
more...
back
I
then?
feel he's more... Grow back?
The skin grows back once it blows off.
It does not.
No?
You need to rewatch the Terminator.
Different
You're
movie?
thinking T-1000, perhaps.
Yeah, that's for sure what I was thinking about.
T-1000 is the one who's a big old puddle
Liquid.
of silver.
The whole time I'm thinking you were talking about calculators, so I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Had some great games in my TI-85.
That's right.
We had, let's see, so there were tied for number 2, Ava from Ex Machina.
Nice.
Tied with Johnny 5 and from Short Circuit, so a lot of love there. But of course, similar to our Pixar, top 5 Pixar movies, Wally coming in at number 1.
Good choice.
Nice.
So good choice by the audience members. Our lucky winner this episode, Alex Frith, who voted for T-800, R2-D2, Ava, Joe the Gigolo from AI.
Interesting. My second favorite robot from AI. for what
Okay.
it's worth.
And evil Bill and Ted from Bill and, which I think is
That
an
is an
inspired
outstanding
Inspired
choice. A++ to Alex.
So Alex,
Very well chosen.
shoot us an email at contact@alternating.com for details on how to claim your free movie rental. If you want to win a free movie like Alex, be on the lookout for a spoiler alert or top 5 movie posts on Facebook and Twitter to share your favorite picks. In closing, I want to thank everybody for listening. Check us out on social media now that Carrie's back from our trip. Actually, Tim, you've been holding down the fort really well with social media, so appreciate
I've been
that.
doing what I can.
Check us out on alternating.com. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes or Google. And tune in for our next show. We're doing a last-minute switch. Why, Tim?
Well, we were going to do haunted houses in celebration of Amityville the Awakening. And then, guess what? For the 5th time, they pulled Amityville Awakening from the schedule. So there's not even a haunted house movie. So why would we do a haunted house top 5? So instead, we are going to take a look at one of this year's releases that we missed when it came out. Trainspotting 2. We're going to do a double feature of Trainspotting and its sequel. So be sure to check both of those out if you've never seen one or both of them.
We'll catch you then.